Hello, it's Joe Glines. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to create some simple hotkeys with AutoHotKey. Now AutoHotKey is a free scripting program you can download. Let me jump to it real quick here and bring this over. I go to this forum. This is actually a link to the forum here. This is ahkscripts.org. If you get rid of this, you can go to the main page, and from here there's some good tutorials and everything about it. You can download it from here. I recommend, let me see if I do this, install. Oh, it's going to download it. You know what, while I'm here, because I think this will be pretty quick, pretty fast, I just want to show this. I use the Unicode 32-bit version is what I prefer to use, and I think I already have this installed, so that's why it's not letting me do it. I'm going to do custom installation. You can choose between the 64-bit and a 32-bit ANSI build, but if you deal with Unicode stuff, and this is the one that I've found that works best for all my stuff. Even though I'm running Windows 64-bit version of Windows, I still prefer the 32-bit version, Unicode version of AutoHotKey. So anyway, after you install it, you can watch your tutorials. You can read through their tutorials, which of course is a little time consuming and it's kind of hard sometimes to put things together. So I thought I'm going to make a short video and give you one quick overview. And so first off, and I'm using Site, by the way. This is also the default editor you can download and install. But I have a hot string, so not to confuse you. There's hot keys and hot strings. So if I type this, it dumps in my default if I'm going to start playing with the script. And what I'm going to point out right now, these are two things. This one will make it run only one time, no matter what. There's this no environment setting, which we don't need to go into that. And then this one and this one are both hotkeys to reload. So depending on what keyboard I am, sometimes I don't have a browser forward button, but most of the time I do. But when I don't, I want to have this right alt. So I know this is the right alt key, and that'll either this one or this one will make my program reload. The right control key or the browser back will run whatever is after this. And so real quickly here, I'm going to put up message box. Hi there. I hit browser back. Oh. And add a return. Now I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to hit I'll do the right alt, which is going to reload it. Down here you can see this hotkey tester. That was the name of this file, right? It happens really fast, but when you'll watch down here and you'll see when I do this, it's actually reloading that script for me. And now when I hit my either browser back button or right control, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button, right control, it puts up this menu box, right? Because I told it, hey, when you hit browser back or right control, run the rest of the script, which happens to be everything in here. And if I had put, let me, second one. Now I'm going to save it, reload it, and now when I hit my hotkey, it does that one and that one, right? Because it does everything after this. Or, let's say I only had one thing I wanted to do. You can put it on one line. If I do it this way, and I think a message box will work this way. I don't do them that often this way. So I'm going to say hi. I'm going to get rid of this return. And now when I hit it, so it still did the hi. Okay. Now I don't need the return. See, if I had a second one down here, and this was... Now when I hit this, see how it just did hi? So I'm going to hit my hotkey. It does hi right here, but it doesn't do this. If I put this way, it's going to keep trying to run, or not. Oh, I didn't save it. I'm sorry. So see, it did hi and hello. Let me do it again. I'm going to hit the hot button. It goes hi, hotkey, and now it does hello. And that's because I don't have a return key, a return value here. If I set return, now when I do this, it'll just do hi, right? And the alternative way was if it's only one line, the return is optional. So this browser back or right control, those may not be too familiar to you. You can pretty much use almost anything you want. So it's a little archaic. Let me go over here. I think, yeah, right here I had typed them into my main script, and I'm going to add them up here. So when I was first getting used to AutoHotKey, this was reminders for me. So the pound key, so if I do Windows, sorry, that's the pound key, but it's the Windows, that is the abbreviation for the Windows key, is the pound key. So I'm going to do Windows, and let's just say I. And I'm going to add the 2 colons and say message box, wow. Now when I reload this, and I'm going to hit Windows I, and notice it does that. So I can have multiple hotkeys. Notice I can still do my browser back or right control, and it'll do that one. And the Windows I does this one. Now I believe if I hit the Windows I and then try to hit my right control, oh wow, it looked. I thought I had to add a value there to do multi-threading, so it'll do more than one, but it looks like it just popped up there without a problem, which is awesome. So I just picked I at random, right? I could make this Windows H, and now Windows H. We'll put that up there. Now, of course, this is only so helpful if you're doing stuff in AutoHotKey, but what a big thing for the hotkeys are to run. And let me scroll down here. Run other programs. So I know, like in here, if I hit my apps key in A, it's going to run this I just tell it, literally run this program and the path to the program. So watch, when I hit apps key in A, it launches this program for me. Or if I hit apps key in B, it's going to run the script that goes and backs up a bunch of my files. If I hit the apps key in C, it's going to run this ClipShare program that I wrote. If I hit the right control in C, notice how I keep in patterns. Most of my stuff is the apps key in C, but the letter C does other things. I have it with the right control key to go look up something. It'll launch a different program. Apps key in D will launch my device manager for me. And apps key in N, because in Windows 7 they changed how they launched their network connections thing, this hops me right to it. Right? So hotkeys can launch, basically they can launch other programs. You can tell them, let me find Shift window. I was going to say I have some that do Google searches, and let me see now. If I search in here for Google, so I have that one commented out, but so here we go. Windows A, it'll first pop up an input box, store a value in the search variable, and then it tells you some text of like what it's going to do, and says, oh, if basically I cancel out of it, just return. But if not, run. And so I tell it to run Chrome, because if it was just a web page, I could put that, but I would run it with IE, because IE on my computer is the default editor, not because I want that, but let's not go there. But this will run Chrome, and then it tells it, so launch Chrome and go to this URL, but put in my variables. See how this search highlighted up here? Right, this is the variable where I've stored something. So watch now. I'm going to hit Windows A, and it's going to ask me, well, what do you want to search? And I put some stuff here on the AutoHotKey site using Google. So I'm going to, let's see, what am I doing? Hotkeys. And now it launched Chrome, it did a Google search, and notice right here it says hotkeys, and this is how in Google you can tell it to search a specific site. So I told it to search ahkscript.org for hotkeys, and it gives me the links. Or I can hit the caps lock in A, and it'll do something very similar, except for, I believe on that one, oh, it's going to the other forum that I mentioned. That's the one I use most of the time now. It's newer. And then I have caps lock in S, which will do a Google search for whatever I pipe through of Stack Overflow. And boy, I didn't remember I had this one, caps lock in T. Let me see if that even works. Caps lock in T. Python code. This techonthenet.com I found was also a good place for getting support. So all of those are very similar. Caps lock in G, I forgot, I didn't even know I had that. Caps lock and G, I guess, does a regular Google search. Yep. I gotta remember I got that one. Caps lock and M searches Microsoft. Oh, Microsoft, their support. That's when I was doing a lot of stuff with that. So those are some other ways you can do stuff with hotkeys. There's 8 million things you can do with them. What's really cool, though, the general principle is you can combine usually 2 or 3 different keys. Sometimes I have them. I don't know if I can remember an example where I'm doing multiple keys at one time, more than 2. So here we go. This is Control-Shift-W will launch my checking of weather program. Control-Shift-W. So it just got the weather, ripped out the stuff using reg expression, presented it to me. So I don't have to go navigate there and wait for it to load. I can just watch it pop up here, and it's nice and clean, as opposed to the web page has a lot of advertisement and crap. So anyway, that's how you can do multiple keys as a hotkey. And again, you can put the hotkey. I don't think I should really have a space here, but apparently it doesn't matter. And then run, then the path to the program. And here, if you're going to pass it a parameter, and actually, if you notice here, I'm inconsistent, unfortunately. I didn't realize that some of these I still had that way. But I have the path all the way down to AutoHotKey. I think because this is an AutoHotKey script, let's go ahead and try this. I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm just going to run that. So I'm going to save this, reload it, and say Control-Shift-W. And there it goes. So because it's an AutoHotKey script, AutoHotKey is in my path. I don't have to put the path to it. And AutoHotKey is associated to this .ahk extension. I don't have to put the path to AutoHotKey in there unless I wanted a certain version. I have multiple versions. But it'll allow for doing those things. Windows F brings up a program I have that it's the old style type of search. I really like. I used to like the XP search stuff, and I can't stand the new version of Windows 7 or Windows 8. So this one it'll launch this program for me, and it can just really help you be much more efficient instead of having all the buttons somewhere or having to come up to your start menu all the time. Right? It takes a little getting used to as far as remembering your hotkeys. That's why most of my hotkeys that launch things start with the apps key. They launch programs. I also have, I don't have it running right now, but let me launch my menu builder. So I have a hotkey that launches my menu builder. My menu launcher, and this launches a bunch of different scripts. As you can see, I'm a nerd, and I really need to go outside at some point. but it really can save an amazing amount of time. Takes a little bit of practice, but believe me, once you get used to it, having things where you can just hit a key. And actually, you know what? Now that this is running, let me pull this up, because inside this menu, these even though the menus jump into it, I still use a hotkey to get to it, right? And then it does a bunch of different things. And I think one of the things is let me get a new thing here. I'm just getting a bunch of stuff. I don't care what they are. Alright, let's just do that. And notice that these are duplicates. So let me see if I can highlight this and hit Windows D, right? So I have told the computer that, let me see if I can undo that. So I'm going to highlight this. When I hit Windows D, it launches a little script I wrote that'll take all of the things, line by line, uppercase them, dedupe them, and alphabetize them. So you'll notice that these will suddenly become alphabetical. They'll all be uppercase, and this FDSA, with any luck, disappears, and it's just one of them, right? And then I can also highlight them and just hit a comma, and it'll put them into the good format I need for my SQL query. And if I had thousands of these, it just drops it off. But anyway, that's the hotkey itself, right, that I can just hit a couple buttons, or I can hit Control-Alt-I, which will pull out my IP address on my computer. I really don't remember all of the different things I have, but I have a lot of different hotkeys that save me on a daily basis just an amazing amount of time, getting me closer to what I want to be doing instead of trying to search around of where I save something. And also, because I can customize them to the way I think. Right? I'm not limited by how computers are set up in the first place. I can tweak them to do whatever I want. If you go back to here and look under the keys here, I think this will give you a good idea. I think this is maybe the actual keys that you can use. Or it's, yeah, the left button, mouse buttons. But they have a really good tutorial. Let's see. This is a good tutorial that'll walk you through how to use certain things. And also, I should have pointed out that you can have context-sensitive stuff too. So you can tell it, when I hit this key combination inside Chrome, it'll do one thing, but if I'm in Sight or something else, it'll do another thing, which is, again, really powerful because you don't have to remember as many different things. Here are the abbreviations. So as I was mentioning earlier, this is the pound is the Windows key, the exclamation point is Alt, the caret is Control, plus is Shift, an ampersand. What is the ampersand? It's between. Oh, sorry, that's for combining things. And then you can just scroll around and see there's 8 million trillion different ways you can do stuff. You can set things up to. I can click using my mouse. Also, I can right-click and this will toggle it to my other monitor and back. I have it set up where, like, this program will create a little screen capture of whatever I'm doing, and I can just get rid of it. But again, they're at the touch of my fingertips. In a second, I can launch a program, do whatever, and keep moving forward without it being a big deal. Thank you.